Hello and welcome to another speaker interview for the upcoming Book Direct show. In these interviews, we'll get to know our speakers, learning about their background and career paths, their thoughts on the Book Direct movement, and what they'll be teaching us at the upcoming conference. In today's Speaker Hot Seat, I have the winner of this year's Shorties Pioneer Award and the founder and CMO of Smiling House, based in Switzerland. Today, I'm saying hello to Moriya Rockman. Hello, Moriya. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you?
Very well. Thank you. Very well. Beautiful scenery in the background there. Smiling House of Switzerland.
With a smile.
Yeah. So for those listeners who don't know you, could you please tell us a little bit about your background and then how you got started in the industry? So basically, what does your journey look like?
Okay, so actually, my background has to do with advertising. I'm a copywriter. I used to be a radio DJ, and I'm a specialist for the sharing economy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got into the industry of vacation rental by a hobby.
Really?
Yeah, together with my husband, we have a chalet in the Swiss Alps. And after we, used this house as a winter house, summer house, a friend came from New York like 8 years ago, and the beginning of Airbnb, and she said, "Why don't you put it on Airbnb?" And I said, "What is Airbnb?" And she hooked me in, and she introduced me, and I said, "Oh wow, I like the idea of more people to get to know this kind of getaway place, And there was a lot of doubts about it, about the possibility to host in such place. There was no running water, only a whale, and so on. And surprisingly enough, we start to get to know people from all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And from that moment on, it was just like a journey of more owners say, "Why don't you put my chalet or villa on this? You do what you know how to do." And Ira and me, we fell in love with the hospitality idea and with the creativity that has to do with this, with the possibility that it's bringing to, to be creative.
Yeah.
And before we understood it, we suddenly saw that we actually started to manage all kinds of chalets for friends and family, etc. And it took us quite a bit of years to understand that we want to make it into a profession. We've been both doing something completely else, and that was our hobby. And this hobby become, so beautiful and so interesting that it gave us the idea of do it in more a professional way. But the real difference, or the real lift up of this whole thing, was in the last convention of Airbnb that took place, I think, in Los Angeles about 5 years ago, where the founder of Airbnb at the time was very fascinated with the things we're doing with luxury, because the whole thing with the OTAs and luxury was a segment that they didn't take care of. And at the time, remember, I told him, we have some places going for $50,000 for a week. And he was like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
It was so much not the Airbnb way and concept that he was very surprised, and introduced us to the one who at the time been like the mind behind Airbnb, Chip Conley. And Chip was the one that actually said, get off your limitation. You are maybe a Swiss company, but whatever you can do with hospitality, especially in luxury, you can do it worldwide. You can bring the same spirit, and you can grab whatever there is out there, all these special places around the world, and manage it, bring your knowledge there. And we took it very, very seriously.
Well, it's a niche market. So yes, it's a niche global market. So why not bring it all together? Of course.
Yes, but it was at that time, if you would have met us 5 years ago, and I would tell you, yeah, I have 2 villas in Mykonos, I have 1 villa in Ibiza, and 10 chalets in the Swiss Alps, you would say, "Oh, she's so much not focused." These guys are just like to travel one with another. and they find a justification of traveling together into make it into a little bit between a hobby and a business. At that time, we've been really the weirdest animals in the zoo of vacation rental. It took time also for our colleagues and for the industry and for us as well, to see the make sense behind all this that brought us to where we are today.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that it's now clearer to everybody and to ourselves.
Yeah.
And the possibilities are just getting more and more, more clear, and it's the world really becoming like a small village. And hospitality, the beauty of it, hospitality got the same beautiful aspects, and in our case of the niche of luxury rental, also the high standards everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that I love about this industry, besides the hospitality, it is the opportunity. There is so much opportunity because the industry is growing and booming. There is a lot of opportunity. You just have to reach out and grab it and run with it.
Yes, the opportunity is there. And I think that slowly people are starting to understand that also the borders of what you can and what you can't is getting a little bit wider. And also the fact of being depending on one platform or not. Being independent, do whatever you like to do in the way that you like to do it. And the book direct trend and community is the proof that the many great minds around the globe understanding the opportunity and what they can do within these opportunities.
It's interesting. I'm working on a new presentation about direct bookings, and it's almost like this last generation of property managers from the last 10 years. They don't know about life before Airbnb and Booking.com and how the big OTAs just grabbed hold, because it used to be all about direct bookings. And so now it's we want to open everyone's eyes, all the newer people to the industry, open everyone's eyes to, yes, this is what it was all about before. Let's get it back. It is.
So, when it's come to our company, I feel that we got to this, awareness earlier, because actually the niche of luxury been always there, and it's always been based on direct booking. On it existed much before the OTAs, and it will last after, because this is like hospitality, traditional hospitality.
Yes.
The other aspect of it is, of course, not like most of the industry. Our path of communication with our guests, and the way that they take from the moment they got interested in a place to stay and until they really book it, it's not an instant thing. It consists with a lot of direct communication. So we had to find a way with the OTAs and without them. And as time goes by, we see that traditional direct booking come more and more, and there's more and more way to use all these beautiful platforms and all this social media technology, if you want to call it, to just let people do it more easily the way that they did it before.
Yes. Now, I'm just curious, is Smiling House a property management company or a lead generator or a listing site? Or everything?
It's that's it. So I would say that we are kind of a hybrid company. So we are managing ourselves a network of about 120 chalets in our collection here in the Swiss Alps. Have a look. And otherwise, the rest of the destination we are working in the world, which is about 80 destinations in 26 countries, we are actually kind of an alliance. We telling to homeowners and property managers wherever they are in the globe that we can host together. That's the idea. We're taking action with the OTAs and also outside of the OTAs, and also with conservative travel partners like travel designers and hotel industry and concierge companies and many, many other companies to drive more bookings into into that space that's called luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing about it is when we're talking about a guest that can travel 4, 5, or maybe even 10 times in a year to different destinations.
Mm.
We're talking about different lifestyle and consuming behavior that requires this kind of knowledge that is not based on one place.
Mm.
And that's why this alliance is also make it possible for the property owners or property managers to refer one another.
Mm. Mm. Yes, great.
With, yeah, because they have this kind of special connection with the guest, and
Mm.
they know that this guest would like to travel elsewhere as
Mm.
well. So it's not like one booking, one event happened, payment, and c'est tout.
Yeah.
This is a long relationship, can be a long relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I
So
mean, you've got a great market there. And like you were saying, you know, these people, they travel numerous times in the year. So you're very lucky in that regard, having that kind of guest.
and this is another aspect why to book direct is crucial for our company.
Mm.
These guests are guests with a trust.
Mm.
Once they trust you, especially when it's involved, every stay, every vacation of this guest is involved with a lot of money and a lot of details of, you know, preparing the vacation. Once these people trust you, they would reach out to you again and again when they traveling to a different destination. And you know what's the best channel of direct booking? This is the word to mouth, right?
Oh, word of mouth, of course. Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
So as hard as it's hard to get to this kind of clientele. They are very faithful and they are very happy to give another recommendation. And I think this is something that with the OTAs and technology, it's a little bit been forgotten. A lot of hosts are putting so much effort into the beauty of the vase and you know, and the keyless and a check-in, check-out, and all the cleanliness. But hey, the guy has a great stay. What are you doing in order for him to hook up to you as a host and make sure to visit again, and even more so to recommend about the beautiful hospitality you're bringing to this world?
It's definitely about the guest connection. And this is why I think, you know, keyless entry and everything automated. How do you connect with a guest if everything's so automated like that, and you never meet and greet, and there's no personal emails? Well, it's not the way I do my business.
With us is also not the case, also because the personal touch and a lot of communication is built in anyway in our guest journey. And anyway, the houses we're managing are not keyless, but you will find the keys under the doormat, which is another beautiful, and it's another beautiful, you know, aspect of the trust, because homeowners are also going through kind of a journey, giving houses that worth tens of millions for somebody else to sleep in. You understand that the reason for doing it is not money. And not another booking, and not excels with how many percentage of booking. This is part of their experience, and they like it. And this is, and I must say that we wouldn't be in the place where we are unless there was some kind of a cognitive process happening in the world, also in the sense of the owners that willing to change, to share their places.
Yeah, that's great. Now, what was it that led you to the Book Direct movement? How did it come to your attention?
It came to my attention in a very bright way when I met Damien in a conference, and he told me he learned a little bit about what we're doing, and he said, "Would you like to speak in the Book Direct show?" And it was, I think, 1.5 years ago, because he understood that the way that we are acting is very much based on that.
Mm.
So the moment there was a title to it, the moment there was like an umbrella, it was clear that we are part of, we have to be under this umbrella because this is how we acting anyway.
Yeah.
So I was happy to get to know the movement, and especially now seeing how it's growing and how, especially because of COVID-19, I think more and more people are realizing where their business starts and where it ends,
Yeah.
if all their eggs is in one certain basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the same time, talking about the award of the pioneer of it's hard to believe it was still in 2020.
I know.
Looks so long ago. In March, we were still there all together,
Yeah.
while half of the world been already in lockdown.
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea of connecting our industry to other industries
Mm.
and to get the legitimation of not being the weird activity of the tourism,
Mm.
official a theme in the world, but as a significant part of it,
Mm.
is always been interesting me. Even though I'm very much busy with a niche,
Mm.
I try to see how I could connect our industry within this niche
Mm.
to other industries, to other partners, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about.
Yes, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But while we're talking about direct bookings, I just wanted to know, what is your definition of a direct booking? How would you describe a direct booking?
So for me, direct booking is everyone that can lead us to a booking with something that is not based on a process of instant process of technology. This is the way I see. It
Mm-hmm.
can be a travel designer who's working with us and recommending. It can be a returning client that been elsewhere in the world and reach out to us again, or even recommend us to another group. It can be anyone else, and it can be, and this is something that I'm very much believing in, it can be a referral from a colleague. It
Mm-hmm.
can be between ourselves to make sure that this industry and the economy inside of it is got this kind of additional effect that is based only on our open mind
Mm-hmm.
and giving and sharing within another.
Yeah.
And I think this is something we can sharp. This is kind of a muscle we should work on, because
Absolutely.
there's so much knowledge and there's so much similarities and there's so much, and this again has to do with the fact that you should not see the booking get paid as the end of the journey that you have with the guest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's continuity.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, very good. I had a thought and it's completely dropped out of my mind, but I'll come back to it, I'm sure. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you had to pay for a booking, a pay commission, but
Yeah.
you still ran with it, would that still be a direct booking to you?
Again, I think it depends on the source, because the way I see direct booking is coming with somebody who wants to help me to grow my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much believing in sharing the commission.
Mm-hmm.
I very much believe that instead of putting an ad in the newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
or putting giving a lot of commission to the OTAs, I rather to share this commission of somebody who's really minded towards me. So the way that we are working with a lot of referrals, a lot of agreements, and with different partners. And I believe, yes, why not? Let's host together.
Mm. Mm. Oh, we've lost the camera. Oh, no, it's back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, let's host together, and it's all needs to be based on sharing
yes.
the knowledge.
Yeah, I think what you said was interesting about that. We've got to use that muscle, or sorry, strengthen that.
Work on that muscle. Yeah.
The thing about sharing a guest, that's still a lot of managers still hold their guests close to their chest, and they think that if they share, then they're going to lose it. lose the guest. But the thing is, if they can't help the guest, then they sort of have lost the guest. And by
Right.
sharing, it keeps the guest feeling very nurtured within your community, within your network. And that's the whole idea, you know, to nurture that guest, make the guest feel that they're being helped. Yeah.
Yes. The whole way of, the whole base of business of Smiling House is actually based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that we hear from property owner or property manager, I built a beautiful business, or I dedicated so much money to make this house into a vacation home, especially in the luxury segment. In a way, they don't ask it very clearly, but I'm saying it instead of them. Why would I share it with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is that by sharing, we're getting strengths together of more active in many, many, many different pools instead of just being in your own pool.
Mm-hmm.
We're letting other people discover us.
Yeah.
And sharing, why not sharing? I mean, should be the base of the whole thing.
Yeah.
We are in a sharing era.
Yeah.
And we should keep to this sharing.
Oops, we've lost her. Might just have to pause. And we're back after that little internet drop. Okay, back to sharing. Yes.
Yeah, so I believe that it's all about sharing.
Mm.
Anyway, if you think about it, the book direct movement and show and so on, based on what? It's a substitute to the OTA's instant booking, right?
Mm.
So you're not thinking about it, but you are sharing.
Mm.
You are sharing a huge commission with the OTAs.
Mm.
So you're sharing anyway.
Yeah.
But think not only in the financial way, think about actively sharing, means referring, means open your mind to be part of something that will represent you because you're too small to act on behalf of many, many, many different channels.
Yeah.
Reach out to new crowds,
Yeah.
and keep on doing what you doing the best. And of course, the one thing I cannot do, and it's clear, somebody has to be on spot. Somebody has to put the flowers in the vase. Somebody has to open the door or to recommend about the restaurant. So anyway, we're hosting together.
Yes.
And by hosting together, we're sharing the biggest thing, right, of the hospitality.
I think
why not?
Once upon a time, I think we all looked at each other We all looked at each other as competitors, but that's long gone. We're allies now. If we want to keep these guests floating amongst ourselves, then we have to be allies. So yes, I'm a firm believer of this sharing, and of course, have you got it's referrals, sharing, So what is one word that you would use to describe the value of a direct booking? What's one word that sums up the benefit?
One word.
Yeah.
Power.
Power. Beautiful word. Great. Okay.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. Now, at the Book Direct Show, you're going to be talking to us about secret partners. So can you please give us an overview?
Secret partners.
Yeah. Can you please give us an overview of what we're going to learn?
Yes. So actually, I talked about it quite a bit now in this interview with you, that there are many, many kind of partners out there that would like to reach out to us and to work with us. And I'm talking about, this kind of maybe lost out of the game travel partners that even today, even more so because of the COVID-19, got more requests on their side for private homes, for different hospitality, the way that we know how to do it. They know how to book a car, they know how to book a hotel, but they don't know how to reach out and how to find a bar, or to find Moriya, or to find a place in, I don't know, in Greek islands. They don't know. But they got this request, they got this demand. So this is one kind of secret partners that we'll get to know in the session. Then there's the hotels, which is crazy. Could you believe 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, that your booking will come from hotel chain? That the hotel chain will take their really, really precious hotel members, and instead of offering them to stay in this hotel or another hotel, they will offer you your private home. This
Mm.
is happening, and we'll talk about how to get there to these collections.
Mm-hmm.
And then we even have the most unexpected partners, which is even the tourist board, like the governmental tourism officers.
Yeah.
They also understood with staycation and so on that they have to be able to offer this private accommodation in their area as part of important tourism product.
Mm. Yeah.
And it can be in city center, and it can be in a farmhouse. It
Mm.
doesn't matter where you are, but these people have the money, have the guest, they have the network that
Mm.
apparently reaching out to them and not to you. And why don't you just let them know that you're out there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've seen your session. It's very good.
Yeah, so we will learn about the simplest ways. And of course, okay, I'm a speaker, and I'm talking, and some of the examples will be more suitable for the niche that I'm busy with, but
Mhm.
some of them are open to everybody. And
Yes.
of course, social media.
Yes.
Build your own brand. Just make it accessible to find you. You
Mm.
are great.
Mm.
Let us find you.
Yeah. Well, we have some speakers talking about Instagram and Facebook ads and Pinterest. So yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Oh, yes. Very, very good. Your session was great, and yes, social media is very important. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
was there a job somewhere in your work history that taught you or gave you an experience or ethics or motivation that you brought with you into this industry? Maybe a job from your youth or early years?
Yes, I would say yes, for sure. I've been a radio host and a DJ for many years, so I think that it was easier for me to explain, and my background in advertising and copywriting
Mm.
helped me to finalize the message. But more than anything is the fact that we are, that I am coming from creativity, open mind thinking,
Mm.
and also from the fact that I grew up in Israel, where women and men are much more equal,
Mhm.
and the ceiling seems like higher as
Mhm.
a woman. And for me, this industry and this background of mine made it like, hey, it's like a playground of opportunities.
Yes, yes.
And hospitality, all in all, is a pleasure.
Mm.
So
Mm.
combining all this together with my like previous knowledge from my experience, but together with the endless opportunities and beautiful activities in hospitality,
Mm.
okay, it comes all together in a
Yes. Yeah.
perfect way.
Yep, I absolutely get it. Now, was there a job that people would be shocked to hear you had done, or maybe surprised? What's the most unusual job you've had? DJ is pretty
Okay,
good.
but
That's
you
not
promise,
unusual.
you promise not to look at me in the same way after, right? So I was
Oh, it's gonna be a good one, is it? Yeah.
yeah, I was for many years, like 6 years. I was like a police officer in a special unit of the Israeli police
Yeah.
that built of volunteer, but we just because they couldn't pay us
Yeah.
officially.
Yeah.
I'm a diver. I'm a diver, and I was handling with a group of a lot. I was the only woman
Yeah.
of strong men's
Yeah.
in all the kind of incidents,
Yeah.
underwater incidents around the Mediterranean Sea and the Sea of Galilee, etc.
Yeah.
Some of it was very challenging. Some of this was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But for sure, it gave me another dimension of what you can do, what you can't do, what you not expect to do. And
Mm.
also this part, we talked about sharing.
Mm.
Make your hobby into something that you can give to others,
Mm.
even if it's for free,
Mm.
even if it's with volunteering. Make this kind of effort that what you know how to do, others can enjoy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
underwater, a police
Police diver. Wow.
diver.
Okay. Yeah. Great. We've had a customs officer, and she was actually on a boat, and we've got another one, police diver. Fantastic. Now, lastly, just to wrap up, can you please give me 3 words that describe you?
Oh, that's hard.
I bet you'll get them.
happiness,
Yeah.
innovation,
Mm-hmm.
and daring.
There you go. You see, it wasn't that hard. No, that was great. Very good. Yeah, I think that does sum you up.
You know, in another interview, I would say a mother. You know, I'm a mother of 7 kids.
Uh-huh.
But I would say that a mother is just a fact, and these 3 things get into my motherhood anyway.
Yes, yes, yeah. Now, I usually finish off with one unusual question, and I'm down to 9 questions. I think some of them have been repeated. Can you pick a number between 1 and 9, please?
9.
Number 9. What is something you'd be happy doing every day for the rest of your life, or rest of your career? Well, career, life, whatever. Something you'd be happy to do every day. Oh, even I have to think.
I'll be happy to, and I'm trying to do it
Yeah.
every day, to be in a place that I will be able to open my eyes and to open my window and to see the beauty of this world.
Mm.
And then it's a knife, this 1 minute, to bright my day and to make all the loads of whatever more efficient, beautiful, and to remember that tomorrow it will be here again. And really, I think it's hospitality, by the way, giving us the opportunity to open these windows many more times, and to only if we are appreciating, we can deliver this kind of excitement, and our guests feeling it. It's not about the furniture, it's about you, the host.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yep. Moriya, we've come to the end of our interview. It's been an
It's a
absolute
pity.
pleasure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. How lovely.
With you too.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your time. I know you're a very busy woman. But yes, we'll be looking forward to your session on the Book Direct show. And it was great. And thank you very much for your time. We'll be speaking soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moriya. Bye.